Hi, cuties. Hi, Maddie. Hi, Rain. Hi, Soda. God fucking damn it. I specifically started stream early so I could play before 6 o'clock so I could go to the fucking cave and catch a seal. And I completely forgot that because I fucked up the daylight savings time, that until daylight savings time goes back, then my game's gonna be an hour off. Like, ahead. God damn it. So I needed to start at like 4 to actually do this. Well, rip seal, I guess. But other than that, how are all of you cuties doing on this wonderful Thursday evening? I almost didn't get to start stream. My internet's been cutting in and out for like the last couple hours. Goodbye, seal. Maybe next time. And the thing is, in Gold and Silver, it's there all day. It's not just a daytime thing. Like, why would you do that to me? An interesting view from John hunting sites. Like sand slipping through your fingers. Is it not the fate of a gay girlie to have slippery fingers? Got a tornado watch in my area, so that's fun. Well, you probably shouldn't just watch. You should, like, go get it. Like, you walk outside and you see a tornado and a health bar just appears and you're like, God damn it. Also, it reminds me of one of my favorite, like, it's not exactly a meme, but one of my favorite little pictures where someone is like, someone couldn't understand the difference between, like, a storm warning and a storm watch. And they had a little thing where it had a picture of, like, 2 pieces of bread, a knife, like tomatoes, ham still in the packaging, cheese still in the packaging, and it said sandwich watch. And then they had a sandwich, like, fully made and, like, sandwich warning. I mean, I could, but that sounds like a problem for future Rain. Well, I mean, like, if you're Rain, you can just parry it with your weather powers. You are the storm that is approaching. Hi, LD. How are you doing on this lovely Thursday evening? I fucked up my seal. Okay, Melos. See, you can take a break for a sec. I, like, fucked it up for myself months in advance. I'm sick, guys. No dying. We have a strict no dying policy in this stream. Notice how none of my viewers are dead? But please do not be sick. I'm dead inside. No, you're not. Nobody with as much passion for giant tits as you have is truly dead inside. You're just depressed. You see, depressed people don't actually want to die. They just don't want to live with the pain. And you get so wrapped up in it that you don't see how life without the pain could be real. But once you start to grow more and start to understand how your brain works, understand how to fight it, and a lot of times do get proper medicine and care for it, you can realize that it's good that you've always held on. You weren't dead inside, you were fighting to live inside, and that's exhausting. Besides, you also have our Pupitar, who's an epic, dark 90s comic book hero. Sometimes you have to literally stand up and fist fight your demons. Gotta fist them all. And the job's already taken. Debated like a true master. Pretty sure the game is either muted or super quiet. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, is that better? I think I meant to mute my mic and accidentally muted desktop audio. Bit loud to me. Oh my gosh. Okay. We all good now? Gotta have at least a little bit of jank. I forgot to deposit my apricorns, and now I think I'm gonna be out of space when I try to get the third apricorn. Also, guys, when listening back to some parts of my VOD, I feel like, in general, I'm too quiet. Like, not inaudible, but I feel like I'm not as loud as I want to be. Maybe I'm just being a little too timid speaking into the mic, trying to modulate my voice and stuff. And also the neurodivergent issue of never being 100% sure how loud you're actually talking. Off topic, but Spay the Slayer is releasing in 2 weeks and gonna give me energy for said 2 weeks. I've never played the first one, but I know it's a roguelike, so I'm sure you're salivating in multiple areas. Ever had a problem with your volume? Okay, just making sure. Okay. Computer volume's at like 4 and you've always been clearing it? Okay, good, good, good. I look forward to Pokemon Day. I don't work on Fridays anymore, so I can watch whatever gets announced. Hooray! That's my thing, is I am scheduled to work Friday. So, or usually I'm scheduled to work Fridays. So, I'm gonna have to, like, mute all social media forever until I can go watch it. Sunk over 1,000 hours into the first Slay the Spire. I am not surprised. You know, the good old neurodivergent path of, I feel like I spend so much time gaming. Why do I never clear my backlog? Please do not look at my playtime in these 6 games over here. Because, yeah, I legitimately went out of my way to start stream early to get Seal, and I am angry because I completely forgot about the fucking daylight savings time issue. Man, fuck daylight savings time. That's another reason it needs to die. For those not from America, you're probably familiar with daylight savings time, but basically every fall, time turns back an hour, and every spring, it goes forward an hour. Arizona doesn't do this. They just decided sometime to just stop. And I'm like, we can just fucking stop? The act of playing video games should clear the backlog. It is unfair. Being Xenoblade X Nintendo Switch 2 edition got announced right when I wanted to pick it back up. Hell yeah. The other 7 times just fucks up everyone's sleep cycle as well, and I hate it. Like, I don't know what purpose it serves. I think we should just push it forward and then stop it there forever and stop doing it. Because nowhere else in the world does that. That's another thing that, like, super fucked me up, was realizing, like, that's just an America thing. I like wintertime more. Europe does it too? That's weird. Well, I think everyone should stop daylight savings time because it ain't saving anything and it's just causing problems. America's a third world country with makeup on. I'm not surprised we still do outdated shit. The 70s oil crisis was mad. Or it was made, I'm guessing, is what that was supposed to be. Basically, everything we do as humans is something that just stopped serving its purpose a century ago. We still do just because. That is also one of the things, like, thankfully my mom didn't do this, but one of those things I hate when, like, kids will ask parents, like, a question like, well, why is it like this? And the answer is either just because that's how it is, or you shouldn't ask questions. Basically, making summertime is to not turn on the lights as much, therefore not use oil. Oh no, like, I absolutely cannot stand those kinds of answers. I said, very grateful my mom was not a giver of answers of that nature. It's tradition! If a tradition does more harm than good to the people living in the current time, then it doesn't have a purpose. Either something that used to have a purpose, or something that is invented by capitalism. Oh my gosh, Soda, thank you so much for the resub. 4 months, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for all your support, it really does mean a lot to me. You Soda Rumor for getting us started. Okay, random banner in my chat. Yeah, the big thing I've been working on today is I'm trying to finally finish everything in the DLC for ZA. I've been putting it off for a while because it's not as fun to grind out the missions when you have almost full boxes, because you can't really catch much. Huh? No, oh gosh, that's like from a million streams ago. Dog. Still need to catch up. Got a lot of shit to do in Legends ZA. Schnubble. See, I was breeding, trying to get like a male Snubble for a certain breeding chain, and I got it on like the second egg, so I don't think I ever hatched the other eggs I had. Yeah, I was trying to breed Faint Attack. And she's born with Ice Punch. Tough bull. Ironically, she would be much tougher in a later generation, because Feint Attack and Ice Punch are both special moves in here. Oh, I never gave that other one, the boy, I never gave him a name. Okay, let's go ahead and move Pecan back over to the Cuties box. And grab Mellow Cream. While I do appreciate how the mechanic was utilized, I'm kind of glad that modern Pokemon games have more moved toward just like a regular RPG day-night cycle. Because, like, I appreciate what they were going for with the realism, but when you're an adult with a job, you don't always get to choose when you play your games, so you can just be locked out of content just because. Unironically, one of my least favorite things about Animal Crossing is exactly that. As much as I love to play the game and have put literal thousands of hours into it, because, like, even as a kid having to do school and doing, like, theater stuff after school, you know, a lot of times I'd be getting home at 5 or 6 in the afternoon, so I was still even irritated back then. The fact that most of the time when I was playing Gold, Silver, or Crystal, I could only see the stuff at night. Granted, playing ZA would not exactly be super fun if you had to actually, like, wait till nighttime to do all the nighttime stuff and you couldn't actually see. You know, especially with the DLC, because, you know, every morning in-game, the, you know, which distortions and stuff appear changes. So you had to wait till the next real day to have new Pokemon show up. That would kind of suck. Also, if everything just spontaneously cuts out with no warning, I guess that means my internet florped up again. I apologize if that happens. If it does, I don't know if I'm gonna try to continue the stream, because like I said, my internet's been going in and out all day. Okay. Dream I had where I dated someone until, man, I'll be alone forever. No, you won't. I know it's easy to feel that way. Older games locking you out of content for 24 hours for trying to speed up the game. Yeah, a lot of 3DS stuff does that. But Soda, assuming you seem to be more interested in girls, but like, you know that you can just, that there are nerdy women and who like play gacha games and stuff. You know, like, what it really comes down to is forming a meaningful friendship with somebody and being able to build a long-term partnership off of that. I mean, that's the thing, if you're bi or pan, it just kind of, most of the time, ends up resulting in a male-female relationship just because, like, that's just the more common thing to happen. I know in the bubble full of gays, it feels like everyone's gay, but and I mean, I feel like in reality, the greater majority of people are probably somewhere in the bi-pan spectrum. But they just never get to exercise that, and it never needs to come up. So they just assume they're straight. But yeah, nerdy women exist. Hell, a lot of them are in this chat. And I have zero doubts that there will be one or more that are interested in you. A big thing that you need to overcome, and this is not a criticism, this is just life advice, is like, you have got to stop putting yourself down or saying something you did or worked on sucks because it didn't come out the way you want. Because here's the thing, words have power, even the words you say to yourself. Okay, and I'm not talking about how, putting yourself down appears to other people or how it makes people want to be around you. Nah, because the people that actually love and care about you are going to be around you no matter what you say. But putting yourself down hurts you a lot. Because you'll eventually gaslight yourself into believing it. Or if you do believe it, start saying something else. Word it differently. You know, instead of saying, damn, I suck at drawing, you'd be like, man, this didn't really come out as good as I wanted. And you can say, oh, I'm frustrated, I'm mad because this didn't come out, but the problem's not endemic to you. And another thing is, like, you don't have to get things right on the first try. Yeah, like Rain said, practice aggressive wholesomeness. I'm not mad at you, I'm not going to hate you for saying those things about yourself, but I wish you wouldn't do it. Because it really does, like, hurt your opportunities. Because when you start thinking that you yourself are worthless, and usually it's because of arbitrary things, or because something you're doing doesn't come out as good as you want, or something like that, you know, like, you start to think you're not worth being around, you're not worth being with, so you just won't try anything, even if it's something that, even if you doesn't, like, nail it and succeed, it's something that could have helped you grow, helped you learn. 5 years, I was a proud nihilistic. It's like, there's nothing to be proud of being nihilistic. Nihilism accomplishes nothing, it's just empty. Because you may feel like you're subverting expectations or being more enlightened by being nihilistic or negative, but you're not. Humanity as a whole is generally filled with good people and positivity. Goodness is the norm. That's why, you know, people will joke that, like, a good, pure-hearted hero is quotation marks boring, because, yeah, the default for most people is to be good. And people say, oh, the world's harsh, the world's mean, the world's cruel. No, it is fucking not. A very, very tiny handful of very wealthy people who make a lot of decisions are terrible, hateful, and cruel, but they're not the majority of people. Nor do they have any right to decide how I feel about my life, or what I accomplish in my life. And again, this is not a criticism of you. I don't want you to feel bad. It's just like, you kind of have to get yourself into this mindset of changing your own mentality. Because not just for other relationships, but like, you will lock yourself out of anything you could have accomplished. Or anything that you might like, because like, you want to make progress, you want to grow and learn things. But if you get yourself into this weird, messed up ass nothing matters mentality, then like, it won't stop you forever, but it'll make things more difficult. And it'll put you in the mentality where, like, you'll start chalking up your victories to coincidence and luck, and start taking every single bad thing that happens personally, like it's your fault. Like, I am glad you're trying to avoid it, but yeah, it's just like, it's still a hard thing to shake when you've had your head in that space. a lot of damage to my views on myself. I understand that, and it's a hard thing to work out of. You're not weak or bad for not getting over it yet, because it's a difficult well to climb out of. I can't get you out of there, but I can hold the ladder stable for you. I'm a perfectionist. That's one thing that you definitely need to overcome, because, no, I get with being a perfectionist and stuff like that, but one thing you need to understand is there's no greater form of failure than perfection. Perfection is the ultimate failure, because once you've reached actual perfection, then there's nowhere to go. But generally, that's not something particularly possible for humans. Nor should it be, because I would hate to have perfected something, then I don't even get to enjoy it anymore. And I feel like in this age of, like, machine-generated imagery and all that shit, the scuffs and roughness of something crafted by humans is far more valuable than people give it credit for. If you think at work, I was like, you did a great job this year. And, like, I did what I was supposed to. What's there to praise? I mean, I kind of get that, but I mean, hey, at least you have a job where they're being positive toward you. Because trust me, I've had jobs before where literally all they do is point out what you did wrong. And once you get to the point where, like, you know, you're in a place where you know you'll never get acknowledgement for anything you do correctly, you just stop giving a damn. So hey, actual props to your job for at least praising you for doing what you're supposed to, because that's not the norm for a lot of people who get jobs. Mission on VGen I submitted got accepted. Hell yeah, that's awesome. You know, thinking about it, it's weird how little I actually come to Kanto whenever I play these games. Like, you know, after I finally finish the, like, catching whatever Pokemon I need and finish the gym leaders. Commissions, once I'm out of this job, I'll probably try to open comms. Cool. Wait, shit. Okay. No, I went to the wrong place, damn it. But Kanto's half the game! I mean, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, sort of, but, I mean, honestly, the fact that this much was crammed into a cartridge... Well, obviously, Crystal's Game Boy Color only, but, you know, like with Gold and Silver, the fact that this much content was crammed into a cartridge for something that can, from 1989, that can be played on, like, AAA batteries, fucking insane. I know it can be easy to pick on the Game Boy Pokemon game's flaws because these games have been picked apart mercilessly just for because they're some of the most beloved and, you know, inspected games of all time. But in reality, like, you know, they're an amazing accomplishment. It's just that it's like a game that's become so popular and normalized that I think people lose track of how amazing it actually is. Oh yeah, big berry money, baby. Give me my nickel. Oh yeah. As much as I do love Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the whole thing with the freaking ghost tower monument being turned into a radio has always rubbed me the wrong way. I tell myself maybe I shouldn't Too much demand. Well, you know, you'll get the skills by taking up these commissions. Besides, your art's still good.
Mutz, good evening. It's me, Gavin. How you doing? Let's battle. I'll be waiting on Route 26. Give me a shout when you're close. Okay, talk to you soon.
Gavin Milo. Riding on my bicycle. Bump.
I've been waiting for you. This time, I'm gonna win.
A lot of you probably picked up on it, but that is a reference to one of the vocal lines from Pokemon Puzzle League, because like half of the vocal lines in that game are vocal stems for me. I love Pokemon Puzzle League. I love